Yeah, I dug my Navpal SatNav out the other day, um, ready for when we go away, and I couldn't get a GPS signal on it. And after a little bit of research, I found that it's quite common for these Navpal to for the GPS chip to suddenly stop working. Everything else on it was fine. I went and redid the firmware, re-uploaded all the maps, restarted everything, tried all the tricks that I could come across on the internet, but yeah, still no joy. So I thought, I'm not going to spend another whatever that was. No, I mean they're not expensive, but you know, it was another 80 quid or whatever to buy another new one. So I thought I'd have a quick look on eBay and see if I could find SatNav I used to have years ago, which is one of these. And this is I don't think it was this particular model. I think it was a bigger screen one, but I found the Garmin was very good. And after a little bit of research, I found that can actually update these to later maps. In fact, I actually bought this off eBay. I think it was something like 20 quid, something like that. And the advertiser, or the person that was selling it, said it had the 2023 maps on it, which when I got it, it didn't. So I then sent them a message, and yeah, he did actually refund 50% of it, which is okay, because I then found out by that point that I could actually upgrade it for free. I mean, you can go on the Garmin site and buy the maps, and if you buy them, I think that's something like 70 quid, something like that, to buy the maps. But the good thing about these ones in particular, this is a Garmin Nuvi 255W. The good thing about these is you can put in a memory card, which means you can download the free maps. It's perfectly legal. You get them from a source on site, not online. You could download the new maps on a SD card, which I already had one lying around which I wasn't using, so I just formatted that, put the maps on there, put it in there, and they've got a SatNav with the 2023 maps on, or the latest maps that I could download, and they can keep updating the maps off this particular site. I mean, the only thing with this Garmin is the battery doesn't hold its charge, but that doesn't really matter, because when it's in the van, I only use it in the van, it's always going to be plugged in anyway, so yeah, that's not a problem. And yeah, I did give it a little test run at the weekend, and it worked fine. So yeah, that's sorted that little problem out. If you have a look on eBay and search for Garmin Nuvi, or even just Garmin, but look for the particular Garmin Nuvi in particular. For instance, there's one here, a Garmin Nuvi 255W SatNav pre-owned, £9.99 all best offer, plus £2.99 postage. That particular one is just the unit only. I mean, I've got a charger and bits and pieces with mine, so probably got a better deal than that. But yeah, so you can actually pick them up for a reasonable price. There's another one here. This is Garmin Nuvi 42 4.3 GPS. That's £12.99 free postage. sec. Oh, what's that one? You can actually put the card in or not. Not sure on that one. Yeah, so you just want to make sure you get the ones which you can, which actually have a memory slot. I think there are an earlier version which is a smaller screen. I think it's a little square screen. You can also do those, but you can't put so much memory on them. There is only a certain amount of size of memory card you can put in these. I think if you go on the Garmin website, you can actually look to a chart there, which will tell you which particular model has what size of memory. And yeah, a lot of people I know these days use their mobile phone for SatNav, but personally, I don't like the Google Maps layout and how it works when you're using it. I find it a little bit clunky. I mean, this is something I'm used to. I like it. Also means I don't have to have my phone sitting there in view. You know, I can't be accused of using the phone if I've just got the SatNav there. The phone is tucked away in the glove box or anything like that. Yeah, so what I will do, there is a very good tutorial I found on YouTube, so I'll put a link to that in the description. That was the title for that is How to Get Free Latest Garmin Maps, Restore Old GPS Units, and that is from a YouTuber called TotalGenius.com, and he has got all the necessary links on there you need. Oh yeah, the other thing I did do was update the firmware on there, which you can get for free from Garmin, from the Garmin website. So that's one other thing I did do. I did that first. Yeah, so he's got links on there on his YouTube in the description for the software you need, which is the Garmin Express. You need that for updating the firmware. That's a free download from Garmin. It's got a link on there for a torrent program which you need for to actually download or to convert the maps once you've downloaded them. It's got a Gmap tool on there which is used for joining and splitting maps, which I didn't actually need because I've only got the UK and Ireland maps. That's all I wanted. But you can use that to download all the different maps that you want and compress them into one file. Because that's the other thing. On these ones, you can only have 2 map files on the SD card. And the earlier ones, the little square ones, you can only have 1 map file on the SD card. So that's the other thing to consider. You obviously need a zip program of some description, WinRAR or WinZip or something like that. There's also got another thing on here, device manager. I'm not sure what that's for. I didn't actually look into that. And then there's links to the websites, which is the free Garmin compatible maps, which is www.openmapchest.org. That's where you can get the maps from. And there's a few other links on there, more website links and some hardware links of the SD cards and things like that. But I mean, you can get them anyway, can't you really? Yeah, so that is actually a very good website. It's also got some other information on here. The SD card must be formatted to FAT32, which is easy enough to do. You can do that on your PC, just format your card. And the maps you put on there, you must have a folder called Garmin with a capital G on the SD card to put your maps in. And you need high speed SD cards, SDHC. Older models cannot handle a single file over 4 gigs. So that's why you need the map splitting tool if you've got big maps, like European maps or something. A little link on here, also a little note. Devices unable to read files larger than 2 gig, which I think these are the older ones. So the following devices cannot read or use any file that is larger than 2 gigabyte in size. So that would be the BMW Movie 350 and 360, the Movie 350, 360, 370, 600, 650, 660, 670, 680 and 5000. So none of those can have a file size, map file size larger than 2 gig. So that's something to bear in mind. Yeah, there's a lot of other information on there. It's a very good tutorial. It's very clear. I didn't have any problems whatsoever with it. Straightforward, went on first time, no problems at all. So I recommend you have a look on that. That's very good. I don't have a look at his other tutorials, but I would think they're probably the same sort of standard. Very good. Yeah, so there are on eBay a lot of these Garmin movies up for sale. They're perfectly good, perfectly usable, and like I say, if you can get one for 10-15 quid, you know, that saves them going to ended up in the bin and ended up in landfill sites, whatever. And that's how they are perfectly usable. Mine didn't have the actual one of these come with it. I did have the clip, but then I had my one from the Navpal, so I reused those bits from that. Yeah, that's just a pity that these aren't very good, so I would not recommend getting a Navpal. When I had a look on all the forums and things, the GPS forums and SatNav forums, a lot of people were having the same problem with the GPS, just completely losing it. You know, I kind of, I'm not sure how long I've had this, but it's not very old. And I switched it off last year, put it away, brought it out this year to use it, and I'd say just no signal, just will not get a signal. No, I even put it in the van and drove around all day trying to get a signal, but just can't locate anything. So yeah, good old Garmin, reliable, easy to use, and currently very cheap. Yeah, so yeah, that'll do, I think, for this video. Yeah, just a little bit of information there which you might find handy, and as always, please like, please subscribe, comments, most appreciated, and yeah, keep on watching YouTube. That's all I can say. Better than the rubbish you get on TV.